My name's Paul Jason and I'm the motorcycle broker, and welcome to part 2 of the Amelia Island green frame, in which we're going to remove the bodywork, have a good look at the bones of the motorcycle. We know that all of the unique parts for the green frame are present and correct on this motorcycle, so it's an excellent example. It's very, very original. We're now going to dig a little deeper, investigate the oil leak. We'll remove the brakes. We will rebuild the brakes. We're going to get the motor out and give it a thorough clean, remove the top end, fix the oil leak, and once we've found out where the oil leak's coming from, and we're going to clean the frame very, very carefully. We'll be using very light cleaning products, and we will go about it in a very, very gentle way to bring it back but not overdo it, and to really preserve this motorcycle. Preservation and conservation is the name of the game with this. We've spoken to the owner, and he very wisely decided to retire this bodywork. It's the original bodywork. The petrol tank is still fuel tight. It won't be much longer if you put modern fuel in it. The seat unit, the side panels, the front and rear mudguards, and the fairing are all going to be put in vac bags and kept out of the light so they can't degrade anymore, because the longer these are left in the light and out in the atmosphere, it's 50-year-old fiberglass, it's just going to start to really degrade much further. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a snapshot of this motorcycle in time, and with the replica bodywork we're going to recreate all of this patina. We're going to find somewhere on this motorcycle an area where the sunlight hasn't got to the silver, so that we can gently polish it, carefully bring it back to life, and then we can do some spray out cards to match the silver perfectly. We will put it under a scanner, but a scanner only gets you vaguely in the ballpark. We're going to recreate these crazed transfers onto the replica bodywork. We'll recreate the yellowing of the original paint all over the motorcycle, so it will look as it looks now, but it will be replica bodywork. We hope you enjoy it. So what we got here is, as near as, damn it, that there is the original colour from the factory when this was sprayed new. It's been kept out of the light, obviously, because the side panels were on, and it's even got the VIN sticker. It's got everything on there, which is beautiful. Here we are, we've got the tank off the Amelia Island green frame. This is the original one. This is the replica tank that we bought. There are issues around replica tanks. They need a lot of work to get them right. This is quite a high quality one. There are really varying qualities in the market, but this is a very expensive, high quality one. And on top, it looks good, but there are a lot of differences. Now, for example, on the original tank, You can see it's been repaired here and here. Now, you'll also see that on this one, the spigot that the fuel taps go on is fiberglassed in here, and you can't see. It is the steel spigot is there, but it's all fiberglassed in on both sides. So you can see here, you just have a spigot, and none of it's fiberglassed in at all. You can see this is considerably lower than on this tank, but these are embedded in the tank. These come through. The size of this is completely different to the size of this. So we'll have to put these on a lathe, these ones, and take them down. And we will have to very carefully grind this off. Well, we'll have to hacksaw it off. And then, so as not to generate too much heat into the fiberglass, very carefully put oil on here and gently grind away, let it cool down, grind away, let it cool down, grind away, until that is well below the surface and as much of it is gone as possible. And then we'll fill that in with resin, same on there, and then we will drill new holes in the correct place here, and these will be turned down to be like these. And you're going to take some datum points for the paint, for the shape on the tank, because there's bits need taking off and filing off the bottom to make it the same shape, and you're going to look at relocating these lugs correctly, yeah?
Yeah, these are the back.
Okay. And,
yeah, so we're going to try it on the bike first, see how it sits, and then see any of the areas, like where it hits on, if it hits on the frame at all underneath, see if we need to do much there. If got that sitting okay, we'll look at changing all this at the back here to replicate the original tank.
You even got a run here from the factory. So you're going to have to recreate that as well.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And also we've got a lot of inclusions in the paint from factory. This might be something we'll have to leave out.
Well, I think, in fact, there's another slight run there. Yeah, I think runs you can recreate, but, you know, bits of fag ash, because they used to smoke in the paint room, didn't they, in the paint shop. Bits of fag ash and dust and dirt.
They didn't have to wear paint overalls, or they didn't have respirators and things like that.
So, you know, I mean, we're not going to really recreate the dirt from the factory. There comes a point at which you've got to stop.
Yeah.
But to recreate the patina and the imperfections in the painting, I think is fine. After much adjustment, the tank now fits perfectly. The next issue is to get it fuel tight, which takes quite a few attempts and quite a bit of cajoling. Right, so that is how the motorcycle is once the bodywork's removed. We've got our work cut out. It's interesting working on such a bike. The paint is a lot more fragile. So everything we do, although you see it all sped up, it takes a lot longer than on anything else, because you just catch something and you're going to lose some paint. There's no room for error at all. So everything has to be done a lot slower. We use a lot of padding wherever we can to prevent anything, and we just go really, really carefully. We're used to putting our own motorcycles back together with our own paint, and also we are used to working on these unrestored machines. But it does take a lot more time and a lot more care and effort, and you just have to go really slowly to be sure. Now, the next video you will see, we'll remove the carbs, we'll clean the carbs. Ant's got his work cut out, he's got an awful lot to do, and we'll also look at how we take datums and how we recreate, how we're going to recreate all of the markings that were originally on that petrol tank, all that bodywork. We've got someone very special we're going to be speaking to about the original paint, so I'll get on to that when we've spoken to them. We're going to get the engine out. Obviously, we've got to examine now the wheel bearings and the head race bearing, swing arm bushes. All of that's got to be looked at. This bike needs very careful, gentle cleaning, which it's going to have. We know that there's a leak on the rear master cylinder that has eaten into the paint. We've got to look at how we're going to treat that. And we're going to clean the engine and get it back looking as close to new as possible. We hope you've enjoyed it. We hope you enjoyed the following one that's coming up. And we're loving working on this machine. We feel very privileged. It's a very special machine, and it's wonderful to do such work. My name's Paul Jason, and I'm